On Tuesday night, I had a chance to catch up with Tom Palombo, head coach of the Guilford Quakers. Guilford hosts Randolph on Wednesday. I got Coach Palombo's thoughts on that one, as well as Sunday's affair with Randolph-Macon, and we broke down a little bit of the ODAC as a whole and talked everything with Tom Palombo, one of the good guys in the ODAC, right here on the Sports Buffet podcast.
Always fun for me to catch up with Tom Palombo, head man at Guilford College. Guilford recorded a big win last weekend over Virginia Wesleyan, and Coach, I think that's a good point to start with. What went well against Wesleyan?
Well, I thought we played really good defense. They're an extremely potent, powerful offensive team. They were averaging over 85 points a game. They've got some really talented offensive players, and then they play great defense and rebound. That's why they had the record they had and the ranking they had. And I thought we came in, we played great defense. And, both teams really, I thought, played extremely hard. And, the last couple of minutes, ball bounced our way. We got a couple 50-50 balls, made a couple big shots, and we're fortunate certainly to get the win at their place. But hopefully it gives us some momentum. I think our team's starting to get better, and hopefully we can continue to get better as we approach February.
You talk about good defense. How do you defend Wesleyan?
Well, that's a great question. One-on-one, we don't really have much of a chance. So, we have to play team defense in every game, but especially against those guys. They're just so talented, inside, outside, off the dribble, shooting the basketball. I think you just have to, your whole team on every possession has to really be focused and really concentrate on, just trying to make it tough for them. You're not going to stop them. You're not going to shut them down. You just have to try to make it tough. And I thought we did that on a lot of possessions. And they're good. So they got us in transition, and they certainly made some plays in the half court as well. But fortunately, we were able to make like I said, we made a couple plays down the stretch that kind of just held them off there at the end. But it was a very, very close game.
Talk about the mindset when playing Wesleyan, because it seems like a lot of teams feel like they're down, like they're down 10 before they even get on the court. But to win in Newport News, Virginia Beach area seems like a good W. What was your guys' mindset going into the game?
Yeah, Dave has done such a great job there. They've had so much success. I think the national recognition they've gotten, and you say you feel like you're down by 10. I think that's part of it. They've won a national championship, been to Final Fours, and that's a little bit intimidating if you sit around and think about that all the time. And then you put that on the fact of the tremendous amount of success they've had lately. And we try not to focus in on stuff like that. We just try to worry about ourselves and how we want to play, and kind of how we want to defend them, how we want to do things offensively. We knew it was going to be tough on offense. We're not a great scoring team to begin with, and then they only give up in the low 60s, and so we knew it was going to be tough offensively. Our best opportunity was going to be if we really could find a way to make it tough for them to score and kind of control the glass, which we didn't really control the glass. They beat us on the boards, but we felt like if we could hang in there and do a good job there, that we have a chance. And I thought defensively again we just did a superior job for 40 minutes.
I saw you guys play earlier this year when you played at Lynchburg, and I don't really want to harp on that game, but I take it I really didn't see Guilford basketball that day. Tell me, in terms of when Guilford's going well, what the ingredients are for Guilford wins on the norm.
Yeah, certainly that day. Again, not to dwell on that day. We don't want to bring that back. But I thought you have to give a lot of credit to Lynchburg. That Lynchburg just played a great basketball game. They really. They played their game. Certainly we didn't play our game. I would say Guilford College basketball for us is we're sharing the ball on offense. There's good ball movement. It doesn't necessarily mean that every player on the court's getting an equal number of shots, but we're moving the ball and trying to make the defense work. And we're certainly we're a plus. I think 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there rebounding wise. We really try to pride ourselves on being able to offensive rebound when we shoot and miss, and certainly defensive rebound to hold the other team to one shot. And then defensively, just making the other team have to work, not letting them get easy baskets, not letting them get open looks, and hopefully trying to make them feel like, they're only going to get one shot. And I think that adds a little bit of pressure to your offensive possession when you feel like you're only going to get one. You better get a good one. You better make it. And obviously we don't always accomplish that. We certainly didn't that day against Lynchburg. I think they did about anything they wanted to, whenever they wanted to. But when we're in on our game, like I said, I think we've gotten better. Those are pretty much the key points for us.
Let's talk a little bit about what's coming up this week. Wednesday, you guys get Randolph at home. Saturday, you travel on the road to Randolph. Making touch on those two games and what worries you about each.
Yeah, Randolph really handled us last year, both in the regular season and in the ODAC tournament. They play a lot like we do defensively. I think the schemes are pretty similar, and offensively they can. They've got a lot of talented players, starting with Colton Hunt, who can score inside, outside, drive, you name it, post up. He's one of the best players in the league, obviously, and Derek Woods Morrow is tough inside and has had a great career there. It's been it's been fun. You'd like to see players develop both on your team and in other teams. I'd like to see him improve. I think all the coaches in the league would say that his progression from his freshman year to now has been great. I'm happy for him. I don't really want him to do that well tomorrow when we play him, but in all the other games, it's kind of fun to see how much better he's gotten throughout the time he's been there.
And then Randolph.
This Saturday, actually, yeah. Sunday we play Randolph Lincoln. That game got moved Sunday. They have exams on Saturday. I have a great relationship with Nathan. We talk, pretty much every couple days. And then their team has been on a roll, and there's not many weaknesses on that team, and they're obviously continuing to improve and get better. And I think that's all of our goals as we move towards February here. Is just try to play. Whether you win the game, whether you don't, just try to get better, play at a higher level, so that you get into February, you start to get to that last week of the season, the ODAC tournament right around the corner. You really want to be playing well heading into that tournament.
I want to touch on the ODAC as a whole real quick, but you brought up something right there. It seems like all the coaches get along, and normally I can tell what coach speak is, and I can tell when there's genuine like, and it seems like every time I talk to a coach, the first words out of their mouth before praising their program is saying that the other coach at the other school is doing a really good job. Talk about the brotherhood with the ODAC, considering there are a lot of younger brothers in now with a lot of newbies in the last 2-3 years.
Oh yeah, we've got a great. I think we've got great coaches in the league. We'll joke around, some of us, and not to mention any names. We got to get that guy to move up. We need to get him to move on, get another job at a higher level, get him out of our league. It's too good. I think we say that about a lot of the coaches in our league. But yeah, we all understand. We're all competitors. We all want to win, but the coaches, we all know what we go through and the challenges that we have, the stress levels that we deal with, and so it's nice to be able to bounce ideas off others. On game day, we want our teams and our programs to win and be successful. But I think when we watch and observe the other teams in our league play, we like to see them be successful and flourish and thrive and have their players get better and improve. That's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to teach our players to be good basketball players, and of course beyond that, be successful in the classroom and socially when they leave and all those things. But you're right. All of the coaches, I think we all get along really well, and there is a good friendship there, and it's nice when we all can get together at the ODAC tournament at the end of the year. Real
quick, I just want to touch on the games coming up on Wednesday, and I'll let you put your analyst hat on and break down a little bit of these games. Eastern Mennonite and Virginia Wesleyan. Obviously, I think Wesleyan is going to be a little chirped, even though they got that win against Bridgewater on Monday. Talk a little bit about Mennonite and Wesleyan.
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun game to watch. Both teams are push the ball up tempo. Both teams are very aggressive defensively. Really come out, pressure the ball, deny passes. I think that would anybody going to that game, seeing that game, that's going to be a fun one to watch. I anticipate a lot of points being scored and a lot of fast breaks and a lot of good college basketball action.
Hampton-Sydney is going to come into Lynchburg to take on the Hornets.
I haven't seen it. It's kind of crazy in our league. We don't play Hampton-Sydney till the next to the last game of the season, and we only play them once. So I really haven't seen them that much. Obviously, we got a first look at Lynchburg and or a close look up at Lynchburg, and they're very good, very talented. I know a little bit of Hampton-Sydney and what they had coming back from last year. And again, I would expect that game. Both teams a lot of full court pressure, a lot of fast break, a lot of pressure defense. Again, I would say, a lot of points being scored. Very, very entertaining, up-tempo type game.
What's the big difference in Lynchburg from last year to this year?
I think just having, Hillary be there now and get all the pieces. He's always wanted to play. I think the way they're playing now, pushing it up tempo and pressure defense and being able to play multiple defenses, and now he's got a lot of the pieces to do that. They've got a really good point guard. They've got a great inside game. They've got a great outside game. I think when you can start to have all those weapons, and you just don't have to rely on one play. I think if you have to rely on one player in our league, you're only going to be so successful because there's just too much talent. There's too much depth on all the teams in our league. So now he's got multiple weapons to score, defend, rebound, and I think they're as good as anyone in our league. I really believe that.
Randolph, Macon, and Roanoke.
Randolph, Macon, Roanoke. We were able to see them on film. We've had some common opponents. We haven't played them yet either, so we haven't got a first-hand look. They're playing a lot of zone. I think trying to control the tempo now a little bit. They've gotten a couple wins to get things going. I think Randolph, Macon, just their size, their athleticism, the way they play defense. It's just really tough to score on those guys. They're like one of the, if not the best defensive team in the league. In the top three on how they defend. It's going to be really tough to score on those guys.
And finally, Emory and Henry and Washington and Lee.
Yeah, we haven't seen W. We played him in December. Haven't seen him since then. We'll play him again here in a couple weeks or so. But Adam does a great job with those guys. They're always so well disciplined, play tough defense. And Emory and Henry, Paul's done a great job. They've improved. You talk about a team that's improved from last year to this year in the style that they're playing. Man-to-man defense. They've improved tremendously on how they defend. We've had two really tough games with them. We were fortunate, lucky to win by one in overtime at their place, and then we won by a little bit at our place. But they've improved a lot. That should be I anticipate that being a more of a low scoring type game as opposed to some of the other ones.
Final question for you, Coach. As always, appreciate your time. Look forward to doing it the next time. In addition to being the head men's basketball coach, correct me if I'm wrong, you also wear the hat of athletic director. How hectic does that get during the season in which you play, and even for that matter when you're recruiting? Because you just don't recruit in the months of December, January, February.
Yeah, it's tough. I'll be honest. It's a high stress level associated with both those jobs, and not much free time, not much time. Unfortunately, I spent with my family and my wife and four little ones. I don't get to see that much in those months, especially the basketball months to carry over. But I will say I'm fortunate to have a great coaching staff at Guilford. Everybody's very easy to get along with. We all have a great relationship with each other. My boss is the vice president that I report to, Randy Doss. He's a great guy to work with and work for. And so I'm lucky in that sense that I've got good people to work with and a good person that I work for. And our president's a great guy, very supportive of athletics. So, I'm lucky. If I didn't have those things, I would say that it would be impossible. It's impossible to do both those jobs. But I'm trying to manage it now, the best that I can.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate your time as well. Best of luck against Randolph and Randolph-Macon this weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Tom Palombo on the Sports Buffet.